Welcome back to Ship Happens.
Today we're going to be doing frames and web frames. Slightly missing a web frame here, so probably a good place to start. So I think we need to start by doing what, Jem?
We need to lift this floor and see what lies beneath.
Ooh. Oh yeah. So we're doing this one, I guess.
Yeah. So we need to get all the ballast moved so we can fully assess all the bottom of the frame.
So the first bag I've just come to is a lead one. So 65.
Let me have a look at it.
Have a look at it. There's a blue one.
Lead blocks. Good job you had your Weetabix.
We find ourselves starting from scratch, brick by brick. No path carved out for us now. The brush is thick. All I'm asking now, don't give up on love. Don't give up. Don't give up on love.
Oh, I've got some cleaning up to do down there, haven't I?
Yep, while I go on my break.
I think you've earned it after that. So these are the old bags of shot, and as you can tell, they've just gone to like one big solid mass, haven't they?
Yeah. So they're not going to go anywhere. My only concern with them is when they were put in, they're probably loose. So each time we put them back in now, they don't go back in exactly the same area, do they? So it's going to take a while to sort of remould.
I know that you're tired, my love, but please don't go.
Can anyone recommend a decent Hoover? Every Hoover that we have is just crap, innit? It's not man enough for me bilges.
Man enough.
It's not man enough.
It's not woman enough, it hasn't got the suction.
Not even saying anything to that one. Right, that's clean enough for now because we're going to make loads of mess when we chisel all the frame off. But we can get to the bottom. We can see it is great at the bottom, which is good news. So we haven't got to go all the way down to the keel. Sorry, I'm just falling over. I'm like, balancing. The frame and the web frame are good at the bottom, so we can scarf them. So that'll make it a bit more easier for us, won't it, dear?
Yes.
Okay, but
Right, let's get destroying.
can I ask a favour? Press the like button and the subscribe button just to help us out. Thanks. That is the first time a knee has ever come off.
With everything.
With everything. So there's the packer and there's the web frame, and you can see the nails.
That's where they used to go through the frame.
So yeah, so there would have been a frame. That's right, yeah, so the frame would have been there. But obviously the frame's rotted away because they would have been copper nailed before the planking went on. So the frame's rotted away. Then you've got the packer, which has lasted. Then we've got the web frame, which has rotted away. But look how cool that is. Just get that rid of that. I love long copper nails that have still got like both ends on, but unfortunately don't think we're going to be able to get them out in one piece.
Let's just scrap the knee.
That's cool. I love stuff like that. Right, better go and clean it up, hadn't I?
Definitely dropped on bass. So strangely, behind this frame here, we've got a tiny bit of rot in the plank. So we're going to rake all that out, and then we're going to, I think we're going to epoxy it. So strange because that part of the wood there is so solid, but then obviously it just sort of vanishes. Peculiar. Obviously one part of the wood rots, but then the other one doesn't.
So what are we going to do about it?
I'm going to fill it full of epoxy.
Well, yeah, it's not rotten, is it? It's solid, but it's like...
Just bits of it have gone.
Yeah. Okay, I'll epoxy that now so it's dry. Let it dry for a bit before we paint it. So the bilge doesn't look too bad. Could do with a good jet wash, but we haven't got any water outside today. I only need to paint where the frame's going. So I'm not going to do much in the bilge because next time we've got some high water, we're going to give it a good jet wash and proper clean it. And then it can all be painted before the ballast goes back.
What colour are you painting her?
Today we are going for a shade of a cloud grey.
A gloomy grey.
Gloomy grey. It's not gloomy, look, it brightens up the place.
Yeah. Okay, so it's now time to start putting the frame in. So you can see here the two existing frames which are next to it. The frame we're going in is here now, so I'm going to cut this crappy piece of ply off. Yeah, There's all the nails we just put in, and with the white, it's got all the white goo on it. It'll be annoying for a few weeks in it until we clean it all off and paint it again. Right, let's go inside and see what's going on next. You told the viewers at home why you like that particular pigeon. It's not pigeon, is it?
I don't know what it is.
Pigeon. It's not pigeon. I don't know. It's not even a seagull, is it? Is it a baby seagull? Anyway, I'll tell the story. So he was walking round, it had like a really sort of like, his wing was a bit twisted. He could still fly, but he only just did like little hops. So Gemma went, I know, let's feed him some quavers. And apparently he's now got a bit of a quaver habit.
He's been here every time we come. Yeah. It's been for weeks, hasn't it?
So we basically threw some quavers out then, but then he started circling and then squawking, and now he's chomping on quavers. So.
But it's the first time he's flew.
Yeah, he's not been flying properly for a while.
So for weeks he had a really poorly wing and he was hobbling around just outside the boat, so that's why I started feeding him. And he's always here every time we come, so I always give him quavers. So he's like our little pet bird now. He's the cute look. He just does circle. I'm so happy that he can actually fly. Here he comes again. He's so cute. I want him to come over and like sit on my shoulder and I'll be a pirate.
Right, so this one's all nailed now. So now before we put the web frame on, I want to take advantage of, there's an original scarf joint here in the stringer. So rather than actually replace it, I'm going to sister it. So we're going to get it in to here where it's really good, and then we're going to get it in as far as we can down there, and we're going to bolt it up. But also, aft of here, so the actual stringer around here, it's not the best. And then around here, can we see here? But as well, I think this is where we're going to get picked up from, so is where the straps are going to come around the bulkheads, I would have thought. So if we can actually slip one in down there that we can then eventually clamp to here, well, we won't be able to get it in, will we? So we can now take advantage of, we've got some web frames missing, so then we can actually get the new stringer back, and then we can slide it aft then. So that's our next plan, I think.
So there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with these stringers. Obviously we've got a little bit missing here.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not rotten, they are solid.
We're just going to upgrade.
But Simon over-engineers everything. So a lot of people are going, don't be daft, they're not rotten, they're not soft, they're not, you know, they are perfectly good wood. But you will get used to Simon's over-engineering and doing stuff that a lot of people probably go, no, it's fine, leave it. You like to have,
it's just
like,
peace of mind. I mean, I've got doubts about them, so.
He likes to have 110% confidence in everything, so a lot of stuff we will do will be a little bit, much.
It'll take an extra hour or two, so it doesn't matter, does it?
But once we've got these web frames in, we'll never be able to get a piece slid down again.
So now is the time. Oh yeah.
Ah! So these bags of horrible shot. We don't want them in our bilge anymore.
Right, so we need to slip our pieces of wood in, But I also want to reinforce this one, as I pointed out earlier. But we may as well go along with it, haven't we? So we may as well reinforce it as long as we can. So we may as well come right along this stringer here. To do that, we've got to take this floor beam out. We need to take this floor beam out anyway, because next time, maybe, don't know, we'll be doing this web frame.
And the frame.
And the frame. So we may as well jump ahead ever so slightly and start preparing this area for when we come in next time. So yeah, this is coming out, and then we can actually then set our finished floor height, which is all in line with the bow area. So it's quite exciting really, this, because it's all starting to come together a little bit. So this is coming out next. Gemma's looking puzzled.
I am, because obviously they are sitting.
Oh God, sorry.
They are sitting on top of the engine bearers.
Yeah.
But the floors that we've done, the beams we've done at the front are sitting flush with the engine bearers.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to build something up the side to take the weight, aren't we?
Yeah. So we're going to be putting like some frame material or whatever, basically, because we've got loads of it. That's going to be on a big long run down there to carry the weight. Then our floor beams will then sit on top of them, and we'll fix them to there somehow. We'll make it up as we go along.
Okay. So there's a lot of like floor coming up, and we're not going to have anywhere to stand soon. Well, back to the climbing frames up the air hull.
Exciting though, it's good.
You need the rip saw?
So the magic of... Until it was fake. We'd already ripped off and Gemma was like, stop!
Well no, you've done exactly the same. It wasn't fixed on very well, was it?
Yes. Oh, what have we started now? Oh no. Oh dear. You know what, it's one of them jobs when you start picking off the wallpaper and then the whole wall's off.
We got no floors.
Yeah, it wasn't really doing much anyway, was it, Jim?
No.
If just for a minute I'd fall asleep and not dream about you. I hate to admit it, I'm out of ideas, I don't know what to do. Most of the times I think I'll make it through, but all that it takes is one.
Cool. Alright, so I've already cleaned the underside of this now, so do you want to drill it and put the bolts in first, then we'll lower it down, then we'll put the glue in it, then we'll cinch it up.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
So we're just going to put them in temporary, and then we'll work our way along, because that gives us our alignment that way, doesn't it? So we've bolted it all up now. Took some opening that gap up there, but I think Gemma's now going to insert some magic cream, aren't you?
And I put the cream in the gap.
I think she's put far too much in there, to be honest with you.
Who was complaining I never put enough in? Oh well. I think we're going to get oozage and then I'll have to clean it up, won't I?
We'll find out in a second.
Do you want to watch the ooze?
Well, hang on, let's get some nuts on it first and everything.
Go on, go bang.
Come back in a minute.
Oh.
How tight is it?
FT, it's about 2 FT.
2 FT.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nobody knows the way it was just a little. When I'm with my friends and we drink till we're done. Yeah. So I can't remember how it would feel to wake up in that bed right beside you. All of the memories I can't erase. Back when I'm sober, I see that face and it shivers. Nobody knows the way it shivers. Nobody knows because it shivers. It's cold and it's dark without you in my arms. Yeah, it shivers it all.
Surely told me off for using too much glue before on that stringer, sister.
Taking the mickey.
Okay, packers are in. Time to cut the scarf joint on the web frame. It's not too bad. I'll just give it a little plane. What you doing?
Gemma's job.
I go away to make a cup of tea for 2 seconds and you've took my job.
I think it's a bit more. So the problem is you use one scoop to one pump, and I did 2 pumps, but I've put obviously me pre-wet on there, then you mix it up after, so it doesn't quite add up then, does it? What you got to be careful of is no lumps. I see people using this stuff and it's like, when you've got gravy with lumps in it, it's not the same, is it? Make sure you've got no lumps. Maybe get a whisk.
You're not taking more of my kitchen utensils. There we go. The knee is all cleaned up. Would you believe that was the same knee? Considering how old and rusty the metal was, they clean up really, really well. So, time to get it fitted. These tech screws are just temporary at the moment. It will be copper nailed all the way through the hull and then obviously fixed properly into the deck beams when they're good enough. Okay, so the web frame is in. It's not copper nailed. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave that for now because we've got loads of copper nails to do on that side. So we're going to transfer over and get the sisters all bolted in.
So we achieved quite a bit on this episode, didn't we?
A frame, a web frame, a knee, and 3 sisters. We're getting faster, aren't we? But we are spending more time on the boat. We are dedicating more of our time into the project.
We're basically taking some time out of work, aren't we?
Yeah, which financially it's not the best for us. But every penny that we earn off YouTube or merch sales and Patreon, every penny that goes straight back into the boat and the cost of materials. So if you want to help support the project, please come over and join us on Patreon.
Yeah.
And I've got something very special coming for the Patreon soon, which I can't tell you.
Ooh.
It's a work in progress. So keep watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Please like and subscribe and consider helping support us to get this boat done a bit quicker.
Yay.
See you all next week.
See you this week. Bye. Alright, so back doing frames and web frames.
Hold on, you have to say welcome back.
You don't.
Welcome back to Ship Happens.
Yay. So we always keep saying, let's not talk over each other, so there's big pauses. So I'll start again. We're crap at this, aren't we?
I'll say welcome back to Ship Happens, then you say.
Okay, let's go then.
Okay.
Take
25.
Just having a lesson in filming. Probably moved the camera too fast. So she went, give me the camera!
Heads, shoulders, knees, and
Triangle.